School visits can be a very effective form of stakeholder engagement, but there are some dangers to guard against in conducting school visits. I think the first one there is recognising that governors may have different capacity and availability, and I've seen some schools where they've insisted that all governors do X number of visits per year, and I think that can often put off governors who can contribute in different ways. School visits, the nature of them dictates availability during the school day. Okay, visits can take place at other times for parents' evenings, etc. But I think the core of the school visits are going to happen during the school day. Governors may have differential levels of availability to be able to contribute to that. But when they do take place, they can be they can help in so many areas. First of all, the governors will get triangulation of what they're being told by the head teacher and other professionals within the school. Hopefully when they go in, they are both talking to and listening to the people within the school, be they staff, be they pupils, or other people coming into the school. I think the best programmes for visits have a clear focus. So as well as the general walking around visit and taking the temperature of the school and having a sense to those, the best visits programmes I see have very clear targeted visits around the school improvement plan. So if, for example, the school improvement plan contains an element of thinking about developing boys' reading, you might want the head teacher to identify when the work to do that is taking place, and the governor can then go in and talk with the staff involved, talk with the pupils involved, and ask some questions related to, is this working, is it making a difference, how is this helping develop your particular reading. So I think the targeting visits is absolutely important. I also think it's important to manage the expectations of school visits, that if you are targeting the visits, and particularly if you're in a large school, I think staff understanding the governors cannot cover all of the ground. And I see some governors attempting to do that and say we have a link with every department. Well, how manageable is that? And in particular, sometimes the support departments get overlooked. So absolutely the focus should be on teaching and learning, but it can cause divisions. And I think a realistic approach where you're going to target the visits to particular areas for improvement is beneficial in those areas. Also think managing the expectations is around what the visits are and what the visits are not. I think it has to be very clear both to governors and to staff that school governors going into schools are not inspectors. They're not going to make decisions around the quality of teaching and learning and the conduct of lessons, and similarly there are other mechanisms for judging the success or not in other areas, and having that very clear understanding from the start, and so it's understood by all parties, is important. And the final part there, I think, to think about is what are the feedback mechanisms for when governors have conducted their visits, and how does that feed back into the overall governance arrangements.